Thousands of migrants are stranded in the Andaman Sea, and more than 3,000 arrived on Malaysian and Indonesian shores last month. Most of them have been Rohingya Muslims from Myanmar. So why are so many people risking their lives? To flee religious persecution. More than 1 million Rohingya live in western Myanmar, mostly in Rakhine State, but are denied basic rights, including citizenship. Over the last 3 years, sectarian violence with majority Buddhists has caused more than 100,000 Rohingya to flee Myanmar by sea. And since the beginning of this year, the human toll has been hard for the world to ignore.
I think if I were Rohingya, I would want to stay where I was born. I'd want to stay in the land where my parents had lived, but I'd want to make sure that my government was protecting me.
But they're not. Myanmar's government is saying that the migrants aren't their problem and claim that the Rohingya are illegal immigrants from Bangladesh. And there are Bangladeshis in the same boat, literally. It's hard to parse the actual number of Rohingya versus Bangladeshis migrating, but in the first 3 months of 2015, more than 25,000 migrants left Myanmar and Bangladesh on these dangerous smuggling boats. There are still thousands believed to be at sea in boats abandoned by human smugglers. This is in large part due to the crackdown on human trafficking by Thailand, which is a destination country for the migrants. The Thai government began clamping down after mass graves of migrants from Myanmar were discovered along the Thai-Malaysian border. The country also convened an emergency conference at the end of May with 17 countries in attendance, including Myanmar, but no major progress was made. So what are Myanmar's other neighbors doing? At first, Malaysia and Indonesia were rejecting the migrants, but with media scrutiny and international pressure, the two countries are now offering temporary shelter on the condition that the migrants will be resettled elsewhere. Now, many are pressuring the United States to step up too. But the U.S. State Department said resettling the Rohingya into a third country is not the solution, but rather...
The answer to this issue is peace and stability and citizenship for the Rohingya in Rakhine State.
But it doesn't look like an end to what Human Rights Watch called an ethnic cleansing is coming anytime soon. And in what has disappointed many, Aung San Suu Kyi, the main opposition leader in Myanmar and Nobel Peace Prize laureate, has been mute on the crisis.
You know, they'd sit out there for weeks, these people, in deplorable conditions.
Actor Matt Dillon cast the spotlight on the plight of the Rohingya in his visit to the squalid refugee camps in Rakhine State this week. But Hollywood aside, what will it take for Myanmar to solve this crisis once and for all?
It cannot continue like this. We cannot accept that hundreds of people die when trying to cross the sea to Europe.